with you about the questionnaires which have sent me, and maybe if you have any other, like if there are any impressions, any questions, any kind of impressions from your work so far. How did you use the script which we developed last time? Do you have any kind of experience to share with about that? Yeah, that's the first question from my side.
I think I lost you for a bit. I mean, can you just please repeat yourself?
You're breaking up a bit, Tasnim. So
Yep.
this was like
Yeah,
very, very
I'm
artificial
back.
intelligence. I will destroy you. I will destroy you. What did you say, Tasnim? I couldn't understand.
No. I think I lost you for a bit, but yeah, now I'm back. Could you just please repeat what you just said, David, please?
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes it's maybe let me have a look if I have anything like VPN or something on. So I don't know. Let me have a look. Maybe I can make the connection a bit better from my perspective. I was.
Mhm. Yeah, but you're clear now. I can hear you.
Yeah. Let me have a look if I have. No, everything is off here, and here the other one VPN. Like, give me a sec. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, no, this is the most what I can get out of this connection. No, if you have any kind of, if you have used your own script, if you have any kind of experience to that, if you have any comments on the last session, so please, this is a good time to do so before we start. Before I want to go through the questionnaires, and then I will make an outlook for the next training.
Sure. Well, I think from my side, I really enjoyed the script writing part, and now I have something much more concrete to keep in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
yeah, I think even the questionnaire was really good because it was like a brush up for all the things that we learned. So yeah, thank you for that, Damien.
All right. Okay. Anyone else with any comments? Any?
Yeah, the questionnaire was good to, like Tasneem was saying, it's good to kind of like consolidate what we've learned so far. So there was one question that I think I got wrong, but we'll go over it obviously as you were saying later. But yeah, like it's good because obviously it's good to see where you're at type thing if you're remembering all of it because it helps. Yeah.
All right. I just think that then for the next time, for the planning of the next training. So thanks a lot for this, Berg. Thank you very much. And I still have to do my bit with Berg together in order to bring him up to date in terms of the script. So I think that the best date to do it together would be on the next training. Then Berg, we could get together, and then the other people would be then working on the final version of the script, because what I want to do with you guys today is really just to discuss the questionnaire. Your question, if I see that's the same, and I will go through every one of that right now, and we will discuss this just to see how you did, and if this is the same understanding which I wanted to show you, and. On the next training, I think Jonathan will be not there, but apart from that, we are all together. Yes, is this correct?
Yes.
What's the date for it? Let me quickly check.
Monday. Next Monday.
Next Monday. Let me check because
Yep.
the UK's been weird with bank holidays recently.
Yeah, and Jonathan, you have been working with Giuseppe together. Is this correct?
Last time on the script I was with Maxim.
No.
Oh,
Same,
with
yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Giuseppe were
with
together.
Maxim.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay,
yeah,
so then.
I've got no bank holiday next week, but it's on the 29th. I don't know if we've got a session on then, Monday the 29th. But
Okay, so the next session is like now the training session is now on the so what's on the 15th in the morning? So no. So yeah, so you are there, but Jonathan is not there. I'm just because I'm counting, like that's the reason why I'm asking you. So who should go with whom? But because like Jonathan and Maxim, they worked already together. So maybe we do it to Maxime, Berk, and me, we will work together. I think this is a good idea. And then Giuseppe would work then with Tasnim together to get the final script done. Is this okay with you? Can we do it this
It's
way?
fine for me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's okay, perfect. Then we have a solution. And Berk, if we need something on the top on that, then I will schedule with you a call instantly during the next session. So I didn't forget that I promised the one-to-one. So no worries, you know.
No worries. Perfect, man. Thank you.
All right, so let's go to the questionnaires. I will share my screen. Okay, let me have a look. I didn't have the time to look them through, so I will just. This is really live now, like you know, like whoop. Let's see what someone wrote. It is absolutely random, which one I pick up first, and so this is what is this? This is Berk. Berk, you are on the spot. So let's
Oh, no.
let's go. Yeah, I will just go through it. You know, like so,
Yeah,
gentlemen, as a request. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just saying, like, I think I've gotten some bits wrong. So yeah.
There is no wrong or right. It's just like, you know. Let's see if I see how good I was in transferring the informations which should help you. So okay, as requested by Tasneem, I prepared a questionnaire for you. Let me make it a little bit bigger for old men. If Kevin would be here, he would also appreciate. I'm also a bit like I need already a bigger, a bigger size to see everything clearly. All right, so the 5 questions. What else are in here? All right, so this is the first question was what were the 5 subconscious questions the prospect is asking himself when he picks up the phone for the first time when receiving a call from a stranger. You have someone must be mute himself, okay, or at least so yeah. So it's who is calling. So how long will the call take? How long is so? Who actually there's a breakdown from the question. What is in it for me? Who is calling? How long will the call take? What's in? Will I benefit from the call? What concrete will I? So actually, let me have a look. So they are like this 5 questions. Who? What is the call about? How long will it take? Will I benefit? And what concrete will I benefit? So this is a bit just, you know, Berk, from my perspective, these answers, they have been, the question was more directed into the general thinking. It's like what's going on in the regardless if you call from Paris Rush or
Yeah.
if you call from another company and
Oh,
you
right. Okay.
sell shoes, you know, like it is like the basic principle of what's going on through the head of someone who is busy and receives the first call, the call from someone who he doesn't know. And this 5 questions, like obviously who, because he doesn't know you, so he wants to know who is calling me, what is the call about, so it's what is it regarding, how long will it take, you know, because he's busy, yeah. Then the question is, will I benefit at all? Like, is this like something which I can get anything from it? Like, what's it in it for me? And the last question, what is the concrete thing, which is coming a bit later? And because it's going on subconsciously, this is the thing which, yeah, so think about these 5 questions when you call and when you write your script. When you know these questions, then when you write your script, regardless what kind of phrasing do you use, you will possibly get it right when your intro is really answering to this question. Answering this question, yeah. When this intro is answering question, does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. Would you fit that into the first few? Would you fit those 5 questions kind of into the first few sentences you say to the prospect, or would you?
Yeah, these are the first 4 seconds. The first 4
Okay.
till 15 seconds, depending on who you follow. You know, some people say 4 seconds, some people say 7. I didn't count the seconds, but the first thing which you say is, regardless what you say, you have just a very, very limited time period to get the prospect to agree to speak with you. And the first phrase must be the answer to this question. So we answer with my approach, which I was showing you. Can I get straight to the point? I address the question, how long will it take, to not waste your time. So he instantly knows that he will not, his time will be not wasted. Then you say, like, I'm calling from Parallels. We would like to collaborate, but only if it's a benefit for you. And I have 1 or 2 simple questions would be okay to ask. So you actually already say who is calling. Parallels. My name, nicht nur my name. He is Damien Django from Parallels. Who is calling? Then you say also that you want that he benefits from it. You use the word benefit. We would like to collaborate, but only if it's a benefit for you. So he says, all right, okay, this is about me, and but only if it's but only if you benefit from it. And I have 1 or 2 simple questions for that. It's just that you ask for permission to ask further questions. But these 5 questions, when you transfer them to this intro, they are answered already in this intro. But you can choose another intro if you find a better one. That's great. I just think about these 5 questions which are going on in his head, and the intro should be an answer to that, should have an answer for that. Something you must mention that you will not waste his time. You must mention that who you are and from which company you are calling. And then you must also mention that he will benefit from this call. And then it's really important to ask for permission to ask questions. Like this is, does it make sense, Berg?
Yep, makes sense. Got you, man.
All right. So, okay, give me an example of a presumption objection handling phrase. I assume, yeah, that's good. I assume you already work with Citrix, and you could say, I assume you want the best option. I wouldn't say that the second one is really like a presumption objection, because it's like an objection. So the second one is like an example, which kind of where you can expect resistance. And so the typical objections are like, send me an email, or we have already a partner, or we have no interest, or we work already with Citrix, or something like that. So you need to bring it up. So I make it up right now. I give you an example. So am I assuming right that you want me to send you an email before you let me ask any questions? This is a stupid example, but maybe not stupid, but you could bring it up like that. You bring up a typical objection, but you do it first in order to let his guard down, and then actually to instantly, to address this objection without having to react to it. So an example from the training was, is it correct that you already work with a partner? So, like, is it correct that you already work with Citrix? And do I assume right that you are happy with that? So this is, for example, something which you could bring up. And then if you say, yeah, you're absolutely right, then you say, okay, in that case, what an ideal additional partner should be able to do in order for you to have a look on the solution. So this is how you do it. The only difference from a presumption objection handling technique and every other objection handling technique is that you bring it up first. You don't react on it.
Okay.
Any questions on that, or is it? You can really bring up objections to your customer, so he's surprised that you even, like, also do I, it's like, you can play with this really if you want to. Do I assume right that this is not the right time to call you? Like, and then he was, yeah, correct. And then you say, okay, but like we just wanted to collaborate with you, and only if it's a benefit for you. And would it be okay for you if I ask one or two simple questions, something like that? So that's the only thing. You bring up the objection yourself, and you don't wait for the prospect. Okay. So what objection handling methodology names do you remember apart from the turbos? Switch, double benefit, presumption. This is correct. Yeah. Switch is you give him two alternatives. Double benefit. This is important to understand because sometimes there was confusion about this with when with someone. I don't want to mention names, but like there is the difference between the double benefit objection handling and the two questions which you always ask when you ask discovery questions. The two questions which you ask when you ask discovery questions, let's say you ask what's the area where you struggle most around VDI, where would you like mostly to improve? You see, I'm asking two things. Where is your biggest challenge? Where would you like most to improve? This is just the technique of asking two questions is just to have a greater power on trigger to the answer more likely, because if you just ask once, it's not so intense until he starts to think about it. When you ask twice, it's more pulling. And the double benefit is that you say the word double benefit in the objection handling technique. So it's really like he says, yeah, but it's not the right time for right now to speak. I said, oh, I say, all right, you think like, all right, I understand. But when you speak with me, you would have a double benefit. You would either quickly find out if you have done everything right and you are on your right way with your strategy, or if we still can help you with our solution. Like this is, so you use really the word double benefit in the objection handling technique, but the answer is correct. So 5 points, Berg. Well done. Okay. Hello?
Cheers,
Are you there? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions on that? Because I want to move on a bit because I want to go through all of them. Write a few keywords through about why you think that every sales is the same, or why it is not the same if you think that. Your answer: objection, flow of convo, pain. What do you mean by that? Can you explain a bit, like in 2-3 words? What
Yeah,
did you
of
mean?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
more or less the objections. I mean, I think everyone can relate just from like previous BDR working for either different companies or different verticals. It's more or less the same objections, like in the sense of send me an email, I'm not available, I'm busy, I've got a meeting, that sort of stuff. Flow of the conversation in the sense of there are certain things that you have to do in every conversation before you can move on, type thing, as in introduction, how we can actually benefit you, or what the actual product's about, or what the little facets of it, and then moving on to closing. So that flow of the conversation, and also the pain action threshold that you were teaching us about, where everyone kind of has their different threshold, and you've got to find the threshold and kind of
Yeah, I think that this is already what you mentioned at the very beginning, where the same objections are coming up, and that's true. Actually, they are very, very similar, and this is why every sale on the phone is very, very similar, the same. The flow of the convo, I think that more or less you mentioned this red thread, that you start like you have this intro, you have the discovery part, you have the objection handling, the looping, like to get back to the discovery, you have to close on one point, and suggestions really to ask for the order, like it means when you do it right, you will feel that this is the right point when you ask for the appointment. But this is something you know already. So I'm not wanting to teach you anything which you already know. I just say that they are, it may be different types of sales. If we would do a presentation, every time when you finish your presentation would be the right time to ask for the order. So what do you think? How so from you would say that how do you when you do a presentation, you would say how does it sound for you, how do you like it, and then he would react in some way, and then you would see, okay, he's on a scale from 0 to 7 or on a 9 or 8, and then you would say, all right, then from this perspective, this seems like a perfect fit for you. So should we let's give it a go? Like let's do a POC, or if this would be the next step, or let's write the order then. For how many users should I send you an offer if you would be an account manager right now? The thing is that why I'm mentioning this on this training with you right now, it's not really belonging to our BDR work, because our clause is just suggesting the appointment, and you always should suggest a concrete date. This is a part of the closing, yeah? You should suggest a concrete date. So from my perspective, yeah, it would make sense for you to have a conversation with our pre-sales engineer, our sales manager. So what do you think about it? And say, yeah, that's great. So how does it look like for you next Wednesday at 11 a.m.? Please do so. It's very important. But if you would be an inside sales rep, or if you would be in sales rep, you would be asking really sometimes for the order. So yeah, like, okay, then let's. So for how many users I should write you the offer? Maybe less in parallels, where we are like the producer and we work with channel partners because they have to write the offer. But if you work directly with customers, you would have to do it. And the reason why I'm mentioning this so is why it's so important, because many salespeople, they don't do it. They don't ever do it. They let it. They think that they do the less other bit correctly. They do discovery. Maybe they are quite they know how to do discovery. Maybe they do some objection handling, and then at the end, when it's time to ask for the next step, they don't do it. And I experience this also sometimes. So be aware always that you have a goal for the call, and our goal is to make a next appointment. So at the end, you need to suggest the appointment. So all right, does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I was gonna
Okay.
say the next one. The next
All
one,
right.
I only had like one thing for.
All right. How many times do you have to establish initial rapport with the prospect after he has picked up the phone? Oh, this is wrong. My English is bad. It was how much time do you have to establish, like, so how many times? It's like, sorry for that, Berka,
Okay.
like you have, yeah, so great answer to the wrong question. So there are studies about that, and it's officially said that it's between 4 and 7 seconds. I always speak about 15 because this is how I feel it. It felt like 15 seconds, but the studies about how much time you have really to establish the first report with this first intro, which is addressing these 5 questions. The 5 questions are so important, so repeating them so many times. It's really 4 till 7 seconds. This is what they have found out. When you're on the phone, you have 4 or 5 seconds. And even same face to face, when how he looks you, how he perceives you, how you greet and how you introduce yourself in the first face to face meeting, and then it takes 8 additional impressions to make away a bad impression. So on the phone you have no chance. If you do a wrong intro, basically you are not well off. You are not good, because then this will mean that he will eventually drop the call. So this is how important it is. You have 47 seconds. All right. So sorry for this mistake here. This is my fault. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, write down an example of initial discovery question that you could place after an introduction. Okay, so what's the current setup at X Corp? I assume you guys are using Citrix with some components on the side. All right, what I think is missing here is about starting to asking about his requirements. the initial discovery question should already include the first question about where he would like to improve in this two question mode. So this is a good intro, this is a good entry. So what's the current setup at X Corp? I assume, guys, you're using Citrix with some components on the side. And what's the current issue you would like to improve, where the system is not working perfectly well? So something like that, because you want to get out of him the
What
need.
they're not happy about, yeah.
Yeah, what they are not happy about, what they want to have, but they still not have.
Okay, great.
All right, okay, let's
Yeah,
go to the
okay.
next one. So you answer, write at least 3 examples of the most common objections you do come across when you speak to your prospect. Send me an email. Yeah, we hate that one. I'm currently in a meeting out of the office. We are using Citrix or VMware. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So it's perfect. And you see here, my comment on that. I'm currently in a meeting or out of the office. This is just another kind of the objection. I have no time. Like this is. So sometimes the objections, they sound differently, but they are the same. Like I need to speak to my business partner, or I need to speak to my spouse, is basically the same. Or we have no need, or we have no interest, is basically the same. And this is why I really think that at the end, when you break down the major objections, there are only 5 of them. The most important: no time, no interest, we have a partner already, send me an email, and what was the so no interest or something like. So these are the 5. And if you are prepared for this basic 5, this is why I gave you all the examples just for this 5. You are basically prepared for almost all of them. All right? Or if you disagree, you can say, like, Damien, you were talking shit, but this is how I see that. All right? Hello?
Yep, sounds good. I was just
Yeah.
looking at the bit below. I got confused because the answer I've given is also in a bullet point. I might have accidentally put it in there as well. Sorry.
Give you an example of conversation. So what where you do
That's
not
the one that the one that I wrote. I don't know why it's in a bullet point.
give one example of a conversation with a switchbot where you do not know the name of the prospect, but would like to find out his name using the switchbot support.
Yeah, I think I've accidentally entered it in the bit above it as well because it's just put a bullet point in there.
Yeah, that's okay. Hi, I was wondering. This doesn't matter if how you write it. So, hi, there is. I was wondering. I can speak to Richard, the IT director, or he doesn't work there anymore. Well, that's fine. I can speak to his replacement. No harm done. All right.
There's been a few times, at least in the UK, where there's been that sort of situation. And if I genuinely don't know, or if I can't find any prospects on LinkedIn, I'll just make up a name. And sometimes you'll get lucky where they'll be like, oh no, that person, we don't have them anymore, or something.
Okay.
Because the receptionist might not know.
Yeah. That's fine. I think that Jonathan used a similar strategy when speaking with Citrix partners, and he came to the same results. So it was actually like making up a name, and then, or we have been looking for a name from the imprint, which is the CEO, and then we just brought this name. Today, Jonathan, I think he can confirm or not, but he was doing also Citrix outbound, and he used Citrix partner outbound call, and he used the support. I need your help strategy. So he was really creating report with the switchboard. Maybe you can tell something about that, Jonathan, in 2 sentences, because it's your part, and I think it's also coming a bit from the training. Because so maybe you can tell this.
Yeah, sure. So basically, without looking at LinkedIn or something like this for the authoritative person, I just directly called to the switchboard to not lose any time. And I was, even if I didn't understand her name, I would ask her first for the name again, so I could tell her name again, because people like hearing their name, no? And then I basically, hello, Mrs. Blah blah blah. I require your help for something. And then I was transparent. I told her exactly why I wanted to call. I told her that I knew they are Citrix partners and about the problems currently in the industry, and if they have somebody for me that I could talk to, and basically like asking them for help and being transparent, and then also calling them by their name. It was really building rapport, and also just joking on the phone was also like it's a nice combination for sure.
Look, and this is a really nice example, like when you want to label it on the, like I'm sure this is part of the natural way Jonathan is doing things. So it's not on, it's just, but the question, can you please, so, hello, when you call someone, hello, you listen to the name, that's active listening. Hello, Miss Miller, and then you repeat the name. It's really like what Jonathan is saying. You are building rapport there. People see their name as a compliment, and then if you ask for help, this is this no bite principle, that they will not bite. They are not used to when you ask for support. They say, "Can I ask you really for help? Can I ask you for your support?" And then, and Jonathan was then asking for the name, so explaining the reason for the call. So in the script, if you go it through, you will find exactly the same structure, saying that who is the current IT manager for your company, who is responsible for decisions around implementation of VDI and other platforms for desktop and application distribution. So you really do the thing, and I wrote it down. We spoke today with Jonathan as a note. So the name as a compliment, the ask for support as a technique to pull, to let them really want to help you, to create report, and then humor as a completely the best strategy you can use to let them the guard down and to create even more.
I think very important is also to be transparent, because you're letting your guard down, and because of that, the PA and the help desk assistants, they also see that we are letting the guard down. They are also letting the guard down, because probably they have a lot of calls to take each day from sales.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so any questions to this? Because I don't want to take. It's okay. Then I assume not. So I will go further. 9. What are your thoughts about the personal assistant to a decision maker? What are the main rules you should consider about her position and your goal to achieve an appointment with a decision maker? Personal assistants can help us get through to the prospect easier and with a sort of recommendation, if you will, as they have their approval. If you get past, increased chances of closing. Yeah, they are basically your own assistant. I think this is the idea. Make the personal assistant of your decision maker your own assistant. And I have delivered some techniques on that. Like how you can try to schedule that. To go through the script, please go through the script, learn this a few times. We don't have to, if you have to deal with more personal assistants, because this is really helping, and you need to memorize that. At the moment, I don't have too many personal assistants, and if you don't have too many, then you just don't need it. But if you come across a company where there are some of them, then this script will help. All right, give me an example of closing technique. That sounds perfect. So what's the best time for us to schedule the meeting? That's great. I think what's best to do now is to set up a loose invite meeting, and that way we can reschedule if we need it. I wouldn't do it this so loose with this loose thing. I mean, because this is something I would say something like, really, Berg, this now for you. I would say something. Yeah, this all sounds really good for you, and it sounds like it would be a great fit for you to find out about this, if it's really a real fit, and because of to make your own, to enable you to make your own decision. I would suggest a call with the sales manager and with the pre-sales engineer. Okay, and then he can answer. Say, how do you like Wednesday 11? So I would always ask in a closing technique for a particular date.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Somewhere they
Yeah.
can-
Mhm. So tell me your thoughts about what looping is good for, and give me an example for looping technique. Objection handling to break ice. Staying on topic if prospect is taking convo elsewhere. Objection handling to break ice. Standing on topic if prospect is taking convo elsewhere. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Looping. Yeah. Looping is objections are really rapport building techniques, which means that if you do it right, he will see that he's dealing with an expert, and objections, because you end up with questions, they will lead you to discovery. And this is looping. It's just going back to your own conversation flow, taking the conversation. If you think about this red thread, you always want to get back to discovery. You always want to get back to discovery. And the second looping technique is the presentation part. If you finish the presentation um, um, with the customer, then you ask him about how does it sound for you? Do you like the idea? And if he is still on the fence, let's say he says something, yeah, sounds good, but we still have like 2 years of Citrix running, and I don't know, I don't know if we get the budget approved, and this is always such a hassle to convince the the management board. But I like the solution. What you said to me sounds really good for me. I just not sure if I would be able to get it through within the company. So you have it on the fence, but you want him to make this move. You want to make him to make this conversation with the management. So what you do then, you do the same presentation again, focusing on the most important relevant topics he shared with you in the discovery. In regards to discovery, and this is where we will be improving your scripts a bit, every single one, which the two which I got, where we will be improving them, is that you really want to get out everything on every requirement which is important for you, and this is why you need this deepening questions, like what else is important to you, what else is important for you, what else isn't important to you. And when he stops, when he says no, can't think about anything right now anymore, then you just stop. So what I want to say about this is that these looping techniques, they give you the main important topics, they are relevant for him. And when you do a presentation, then you finish it with the words, okay, how does it sound for you? How do you like it? And you give the same presentation using a bit of an other wording, a bit more focusing maybe on more detail, but exactly about only the relevant criteria he has mentioned to you. You never talk about anything else in this presentation. This is how you keep the presentation short. And you, as a BDR, we don't do so many presentations, but once you have to do them, for example, for some reasons we might come to the point where we have to do some, then you shouldn't be afraid of repeating them. Let's say doing them 3 times, not with the same words, but always around the same topic, which requirement which has been shared to you within the business intelligence. Because if you talk about features within your presentation that are not mentioned by the prospect, he will get bored, and he will then go on the scale from, instead of up, he will go down. And this is the other part of looping. You loop back if you see that the prospect is still not on a 7, on an 8, on a 9 when you can close in. You loop back and you do the presentation again and you repeat it, basically not the same words, but you repeat it. You have to have the courage to repeat it, and you would see that rehearsing the things, is bringing the prospect higher on the level on a scale. Yeah, does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hello?
got you. Sorry, I'm just lagging a
Yeah.
tiny bit. Sorry, got you.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. We will not get all them done. So I will get through this one, and I will correct the other ones offline and make my comments because it will be too much. But so Berk, you got today. You are like our example.
Guinea pig.
So okay. So what are the 3 basic rules of objection handling? Exactly. Text. Beautiful. So the basics rules about no, don't worry. Like look, I'm just so it's all good. So the basic rules, if you can think about it, and this is how you can build every objection handling technique, is actually acknowledging, redirecting, asking questions. This is you can forget about everything which I taught you. What you need to know is this red thread that's always introduction, discovery, objection handling, closing, the most important parts. And then this is what you need to know. You need to know what I mean with when I say that there are 5 questions the prospect is having in his mind when he picks up the phone for the first time. Super important. Second takeaway, and the 3 basic rules for objection handling. If you know them, you can always catch yourself and reflect if you do the objection handling right, because there are always 3 components. Acknowledging, so it's more or less saying to the prospect, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Okay, I understand. This can be so short. Then redirecting. Oh, I understand. Price is relevant for you. And then question. So it's acknowledging, redirecting, question. It's a form of looping. I understand. Price is important for you, and we don't agree with his price imagination, let's say. What else is important for you? Where else would you like to improve? So this is the basic rule. Acknowledging that he feels that you know that where he's coming from, that you don't want to give resistance to his objection. Redirecting, you redirect a bit the energy, and then you ask questions. And if you do this every time when he's giving you an objection, you are an expert in objection handling. All right, that's cool. Finally, 2 questions about how useful you find the training, how I can help you with it. On a scale from 0 to 10, how would you rate the training so far? What can be improved? Scale 9. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind. 9.5. What can be improved? Maybe about prospecting to improve on finding best contact leads. All right. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. And I was more focusing on the techniques on the phone because this is, like Kevin would be more like relevant.
I was just
Yeah.
nitpicking here because I was like, if I give a 10, he might be like, no, that's not. Come on, give me more. Like it's give me a realistic one. But yeah, no, I would give it a 10. It's just I just thought, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, look, only because it's recorded, you don't have to tell 10. If you think it's a 7, it's also right. Like, don't worry.
No,
Thank you
no,
very
no.
much. I acknowledge that a lot. I give a lot of. I try. I don't. I try. I give you the best what I know, and in a way, to the best of my abilities. I think that what you mentioned, that more prospecting techniques, is a very important topic, and it's. I don't want to, like blame or push it on Kevin. Basically, I was giving this kind of training in other companies. I was giving the training on Sales Navigator and how you find best prospect. I just wanted to enable you as much as possible on the phone. The other part we will find out together. What you learn here, I honestly say something to you, and it's really not about me. Like I can even switch off the camera, but this is sales managers. They don't learn this. They can't. They I come across so many times they don't learn this stuff. They never have heard about what you are learning here. If you if you take it seriously, if you just like really go through the scripts and you use your script in the phone when you phone the customer, and in the future in other companies you do the same, you create the same, and you stick to the principles of objection handling, which I said before, that they must be 4, that this is this the principles which I just mentioned. I don't want to repeat them right now, with these 5 questions and this redirection, acknowledging redirection questions. So you are so well off for any sales role you can have, because every sale is the same, and every time when you go in a sale, the sales process is somehow divided in pieces. So we are doing the first piece until the appointment with the sales manager, but the next piece is just the POC. So the close you really focus on is not like the big close at the end. You always have to just to focus on the next goal you want to achieve, like the appointment, the POC, the offer. So he says, yes, please send me an offer. Then he signs the contract, and then finally that he lets you into his infrastructure to do the implementation. And you basically use always, if you use these techniques for every stage, you're doing fine. Like this is really good. All right, okay. So I agree with the scale, 9.5, 10. All right, it's amazing. Yeah. On a scale from 0 to 10, where are you? I'm awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Finally, last but not least, I have just this one last single question. When you get a chance for one-to-one coaching session with me, what is the most important topic which you think I could help you with, where you would like to improve to get better results, specifically to get a higher number of opportunities and higher pipeline conversion? Okay. Best possible to explain Ras briefly. All right, we can work on that. More on prospecting. Yeah, so it is
That was
like
just more on
yeah,
the
no worries.
contact
Yeah.
details rather than
I made a whole study about the tools which we don't use because the company doesn't want us to do so in written form, but we are just not able. We are just not allowed to use them. But it's not about me. Like you don't want to blame anything. And then we work with 6 Sense, and it will be well. Recaps on how to start. Recaps up to now. It starts of what do you mean by that?
So just like obviously we've got the questionnaires now, but I was just saying like just a quick recap, like maybe 5 minutes at the beginning of the sessions, just like like 1 minute or 2 minutes on. We did this last week, and then remember this is what we did in the
all right,
first.
all right, okay, that is a good one. Okay,
Just because I know all of us are kind of like really busy with outreach at the moment, so stuff like, at least with me, like stuff might kind of sometimes slip, and it's good to remember all of it because it does help in the
thank you very much. This is a very good hint, and I really appreciate that you do this suggestion. This is a really good hint. Yeah, last time we discussed like in a brief cap. This is very good. Any other suggestions of this kind? Like
no, this that all I can think of at the moment, sorry.
All right, okay. Guys, do you have any other questions to Berg's document? Because I will not be able to go through everyone else. I will have to do it offline and do my comments on a document. So if there is now is the chance to ask questions about this document.
Everything looks good, at least from my side. Damien, thanks a lot for sharing work.
Yeah.
Quite clear.
Thank you. No questions.
All right. Anyone else? No. Okay, good. All right, guys. I thank you very much for staying with me that long. Barek, thank you very much for being, like my partner today. Next time is Monday. Jonathan will be not there. We will be having breakout rooms. I still have to work over the weekend on the corrections, which I would suggest to the scripts which you have developed. And yeah, have a beautiful weekend ahead and speak soon. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Damien.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good weekend, guys.
Everybody.
Bye bye.
See you guys.
everyone.
Bye guys.
Take care.
Bye guys.